concentrated on the bond market. So therefore, let me give you certain kind of scenario, and you tell me that when the demand and supply curve of that particular segment, or demand curve at least first, then we can come back to the supply curve, is going to move on the basis of the change in all those factors which determine this interest rate in the market. So for example,
Sir, you haven't shared screen.
I have not shown any slide. Are you able to see the whiteboard?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, let me give you the variable and you tell me that how it is. I'm talking about the factors that shift the demand curve. The demand curve for bonds. Okay. Factors that shift the demand curve for the bonds. I'll give you the variable name and change in the direction, change in the variable, and you can say change in quantity demanded at each bond price. Then in which direction this shift will happen, shift in the demand curve. Right? I have given you the variable income. If the income will increase, then quantity demanded for the bond will increase or decrease? Yes? You tell me, I will fill the board. Let somebody.
Demand will increase.
Demand will increase. Okay. So if I draw this, this is the price of the bond, this is the P and this is the B. So if you are telling that if your income is increasing, this was the demand curve D1, and now the demand curve will shift left side or right side? Yes?
Sir, to the right.
Right.
To the right side. Okay. So there will be a shift will happen in this side. Let another variable I will write expected interest rate. Interest rate is going to increase. Then what will happen to the demand for bond? It will
increase.
Huh?
Increase.
Increase or decrease?
Increase.
Increase. How?
So if interest rate increases, there will be more people who want to enter the bond market because it will be giving a higher return.
इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज करने से बॉन्ड में से रिटर्न कैसे हायर मिलेगा रे स्नेहा?
Sorry sir, it will decrease.
It will decrease because your price of the bond is basically, as general I am writing, it is C by R, right? I'm just simplistic way I'm writing, but generally it is the price of the bond. I have explained you in the previous class also. It is C1 divided by 1 plus R plus C2 divided by 1 plus r to the power 2, and so on. Finally, it will be getting the par value of the bond. That is, I am writing this maturity value m divided by 1 plus r to the power n. So if your r is increasing, then obviously this p is basically declining. So that's why the change in the quantity demanded will decline, because bond investment will be costlier. If the bond investment will be costlier, then automatically what will happen, that your bond demand curve, if this was the original demand curve, this will move this way. This will be D2. How this inflation is going to affect? If the expected inflation is going to increase, then the demand for bond will go up or go down?
Go down.
Go down. Because the real rate of return from the bond will go down. So there also the same movement will be happening. Left hand side, the demand curve will move. Right? I will give another factor. These are the practical factor which is affecting basically the riskiness of bonds relative to other assets. Riskiness of the bonds relative to other assets. Let it is higher. Then obviously if the riskiness of the bond is higher, then the demand for bond will be lower. And again the curve will move basically towards the left. Let the liquidity of the bonds relative to other assets. So this is higher. So if this is higher, then the demand for bond will be higher or lower? Yes?
Sir, higher.
It will be higher. Then the demand curve will move outward or the right hand side. So these are the common practical factors always we can observe in the market, which can have the impact on the demand for the bonds. So accordingly, your demand curve of the bond can move, and the interest rate also may change if you assume that your supply side factors remain constant, or there are certain factors also which are responsible for the shift in the supply side factors. So let us see what are the tell me.
Sir, I didn't understand the liquidity part.
Liquidity part you have not understood?
No, sir. How will demand for bond will increase?
What do you mean by liquidity?
Sir,
Tell me.
readiness of the asset to be converted to real money.
Real money. The when particular asset will be really easily converted into the money? When there is a less transaction cost, less hassle, right? Less expensive.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
if you
sir.
assume that, okay, if you assume that the investment in the bond is less expensive, and the spread or the we can say that the other factors which are involved with respect to that particular bond is lower than the other financial assets, then the demand for bonds will not increase. Answer?
Yes, sir. It will increase.
Yeah. So that's why we can say that there is a liquidity of the particular asset or liquidity of the bond will have a direct impact on the quantity demanded for the bonds. Okay, now we move towards the supply side factors. Then what factors will affect the supply side? First of all, it is the basically factors that shift the factors So the factors that shift the supply of the bonds. So let the same points I will give you. You tell me, let the profitability of investments. If you invest more, then you can create more profit. So let this one has increased. Then your quantity supplied of the bond will increase or decrease?
Increase.
It will increase. Then obviously this demand curve will shift rightward. Rightward shift. I have given you another factor, expected inflation. So if the expected inflation will increase, then the supply of the bond will increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Decrease. The supply side here, it will
Sir, increase, sir.
increase. I'm telling you, it will increase. It will also rightward shift. Another factor, important factor which affect, that is called the government deficit. Okay. So how, if the government deficit is increasing, then the supply of the bond will increase or decrease?
It should decrease.
Why?
So riskiness will increase, I think. That would be demand.
If the government deficit is more, then the supply of the bond will increase or decrease? So how the
Sir,
supply of the,
increase, sir.
it will increase. If the government deficit will be more, then the deficit can be only covered by issuing more bonds in the market. So that's why the supply of the bonds will increase. So that is also shift your supply curve to the right hand side. So in the practical sense, if you observe, so these are the major factors always we observe in the market, which are affecting the supply of the bonds. And we have also discussed certain factors which are basically affecting the demand for the bonds. So wherever there is a interaction can happen, or even if there is a shift, so depending upon those kind of situations with respect to those factors, the demand and supply curve will move, and accordingly the interest rate also will move.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello?
Hello.
Tell
Am I
me.
audible, sir?
You are audible.
Sir, in the case of government deficit increasing, what will be the shift in demand of bonds? Like, will it increase or decrease?
You are talking about with respect to government deficit.
Yes.
You see, government deficit, to cover up the government deficit, who issues the bond?
The people issues.
RBI.
Yes, sir, RBI.
Okay. If RBI will issue the bond, and who invests in the RBI bonds? Who are those market participants who basically invest in the bonds issued by RBI?
Investors.
No, investors, but who are those investors? Mostly the investors are the banks. Okay, mostly the investors are the banks and some of the primary dealers. I will explain it more further, but mostly these bonds which are issued by RBI, these are invested by these banks and other financial institutions which are basically defined as the primary dealers. So they have got the license to invest in that particular kind of securities. Then once RBI basically has issued the bond and commercial banks and other type of financial institutions are investing in that, again, why basically they basically buys this bond? These bonds basically are bought to reinvest it in the market, right? To reinvest it in the market. So the government deficit will be covered up once basically financial institutions or banks have basically invested in that. Then after that, the return or the price of that particular asset will be determined by the demand and supply of the particular asset in the market by the common public. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So that particular bonds are issued in the primary market. Once it is issued in the primary market, once it comes to the bank basically, sorry. So government deficit does not explain the demand for bonds, right? Sachi, are you getting my point? So
Yes,
government
sir.
deficit does not explain the demand for bonds, but to cover up the government deficit, it will have the impact on the supply of the bonds. So that is what basically what I was trying to explain you. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, I will ask you a very common question. You might have observed the interest rates in Japan, particularly if you look at the country, all the countries, the interest rate in Japan is very low. Why? What is the reason? Let us discuss some reasons that why this interest rate in the Japan is very low. Particularly if you go for 1990s, early 2000, you will observe that interest rate in the Japanese market is still it is low in comparison to the other countries. But in that time it was very low, close to zero. Why? Yes.
Sir, Japan is a country which like exports a lot of technological equipments, uh, because of which, like, this could be a reason that interest rate is low.
Is it that is the reason because of that their interest rate is low? How it is linked to that low interest rate?
That only I'm not able to think, but I believe that somewhere it is related to that.
Okay. To some extent you can relate it, but that is the supplementary point. But is that what is the Abhi, whatever discussions we have made with respect to that discussion, can you tell any probable reasons what makes this Japanese interest rate low? Okay, I will give you a data. In 1990s or in the early 2000s, in the early period of the 2000 to 2005, if you see, there was a negative inflation in Japan. The inflation rate was negative, or we can say that there is deflation. Japan was experiencing deflation or the negative inflation. So now you tell me, if there is negative inflation, then what will happen? If there is negative inflation, then how it will affect the demand for bonds?
It will decrease.
Increase.
It will increase or decrease?
Increase.
So if there is negative inflation, then it will increase the demand for bonds. Okay. If the demand for bonds will increase, then what will happen to relative expected return on bonds? So obviously expected return from the bonds will increase. So that's why the demand curve will shift rightward. Okay. The demand curve for the bonds will shift rightward. But the negative inflation also will have the impact on some other dimensions of the economy or other macroeconomic fundamentals of the economy. So if the negative inflation is there, then it will increase this real interest rate. So if it will increase the real interest rate, then it will also increase the real cost of the borrowings. Okay. If it will increase the real cost of the borrowings, then what will happen? It will cause the supply of the bonds to decline. If the cost of borrowings will be more, then the supply of the bonds will be declining. So one way, this demand for bonds is increasing, but the supply of the bonds is declining. So then what will happen? The rightward shift of the demand curve and the leftward shift of the supply curve will basically lead to a rise in the bond price. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if the bond price will rise, again what will happen, that it will have the adverse impact, not adverse impact, it will reduce the interest rates in the market. It will reduce the interest rate in the market. So one factor is negative inflation, which basically is trying to increase this going to increase the demand for bonds, but at the same time it is trying to decline the supply of the bonds. So because of that, the bond price is going to be higher. So if the bond price is going to be higher, then automatically your interest rate will be lower. Then another factor, already I told you, another factor is the profitable investment opportunity. Here we have written profitability of the investments, profitable investment opportunities. So whenever there is a recession, then what will happen, that it will reduce the profitable investment opportunities in that particular market. So if the investment opportunities will be lower in the market, further it will again lead to the lower interest rates. And if the interest rate will be lower, then automatically your supply of the bonds will be decreasing, but the demand curve will basically shift to the left because of wealth also has declined. The supply curve is declining, and this because of the recession, the demand curve is also declining because people don't have the much money to invest it in the market, even if the interest rate is lower. So then further, it will have the impact on this, we can say that the bond price, and automatically this interest rate will further fall. So therefore, what basically we can say, that your macroeconomic factors like business cyclic conditions, then we have the inflations, which are the measure or the we can say that macroeconomic fundamentals, which can have the influence on the demand and supply of the bonds. And once the demand and supply of the bonds gets affected, it will have the impact on the price, and automatically what will happen, that the interest rate in the market is going to be affected. So this is what basically happens in general in different markets. I've given you one example about the Japan. Still now also, if you observe, in the Japanese market, comparatively the interest rate is lower. And another reason, what she was telling from the beginning, the another reason also we can guess, that the investment opportunities in the Japanese market in the financial market perspective is low, because Japanese bond market is a junk bond market. So that's why this investment return from that kind of markets are low. That's why, because the interest rate is very low in the Japan, so these investors borrow the money from the Japanese market and invest it in other markets. They borrow the money from the Japanese market at a lower interest rate and utilize that particular money in other markets where the return probability is higher. Mostly Japan is concentrating on the US market. The maximum amount of money which is transacted in the US market, that has been flown from the Japanese market. So you might have also heard, whenever this financial crisis has occurred in US market, the Lehman Brothers maximum loan he has taken from the Japanese banks. Because Japan has a surplus amount of money, their profit and all these things are quite higher because of their export intensiveness, and they are basically the world leaders in terms of technology and other things. So in that particular process, they have a huge amount of retained profits, and they don't have the different avenues to invest that particular money in the financial market. So that's why the money generally is borrowed from that particular market at a lower rate, and that money is utilized in the other market at a higher rate. So therefore, Japan is for investment in other things, financial market investment particularly, they basically invest their money in other developed markets where the probability of return is relatively higher. So one reason is your inflation. Another reason is business cycle condition, like recession, your boom, or all kinds of situations what prevail in the market. Then the other factor is basically what we can say, that availability of the funds within that market and investment opportunities in the financial market. They are investing the money on the fixed assets. They're investing the money in the fixed assets and other things because they're more concentrated on the goods market and all. But if you talk about the financial market condition is not that from the opportunity wise not conducive in Japan to get more return. That's why mostly they invest in other markets to realize that return. So there are three things: what your amount of profit, available profit, and lack of investment opportunity, your business cycle condition, and the expected inflation or the inflation prevailed in the particular system. So these are the major factors which drive this interest rate scenario in the market, and gradually the interest rate is determined accordingly. And then the other questions I raised from the beginning, that why this interest rate for the long-term interest rates is different from the short-term interest rate, and even if there are bonds which have the same maturity period, they still provide the different interest rates. So there basically we bring the risk factors and other factors into the considerations, and there are certain theories which try to establish or try to give the reasons why there is a difference between the long-term and short-term interest rates. So that basically is summarized a theoretical concept that is called the term structure interest rate theory. So we'll discuss that thing in the next class, because we don't have much time to start these things. Hardly we have only 4 minutes left. So we can stop today here. So I will again come back to the term structure interest rate theories in the next class. Okay, we can stop here, and